Have you ever wanted to start a YouTube channel, but you want to know how to balance it with a full-time job? Hey everybody, it's Laura. So today I want to share with you 5 ways that I balance YouTube and a full-time job. So if that's something that you're interested in, if you want to know how to do it for yourself, then stay tuned. We're going to start off right away. Balancing YouTube and a full-time job can be a little hectic. It can be tiring. You can burn yourself out, but you don't want to do that because this can take a while. Now, there are people out there who I'm sure have faster success than I have seen. For me, it's been a very slow journey, but it's something that I want, so I'm not giving up. And I realized that in doing this with my full-time job, I've actually already put a few of these into use. So I want to go ahead and share those with you. That way, if you're thinking about starting, or if you already started and you kind of feel like you're getting burnt out, you don't know how to balance everything, I just want to share 5 quick tips with you. So our first tip is going to be to work during your free time. Whether this be in the morning before you leave for work, in the afternoon when you come home from work, on the weekends, whatever kind of free time you have, use that to work on YouTube. Now that doesn't necessarily mean filming. There's a lot more to YouTube. That could be editing, working on a thumbnail, doing research for the video that you want to film. Any of those things is working for your channel. So figure out what you could do in those little bits of spare time. Tip number 2 is going to be to work on your YouTube channel on days off. Now, depending on people's schedule, you may have weekends off. You may have a weekday off. It doesn't necessarily mean every day that you're off you need to be working on YouTube, but definitely utilize some of that off time to work on YouTube. Again, that doesn't necessarily mean filming, which you have to film at some point. That's pretty much the whole grand idea of YouTube. But there is more than just filming, so take that into consideration as well. The best times that I like to work on YouTube in a really large amount of time are long weekends and holidays. If you have a holiday that you're off and it ends up turning your weekend into a 3 or 4 day weekend, that is awesome. Because say you have Friday, Saturday, Sunday off, you can work the majority of Friday on your YouTube channel and then still have the weekend. Or if you want to take Friday off, work Saturday, however you want to do that. Long weekends and holidays are great times to work on your YouTube channel. Number 3 is going to be to work on your lunch break. Again, everybody's schedule is different. You may have a 30-minute, an hour, depending wherever you work in your area and such, but just utilize that time. Now, I've used this to research on my lunch break. I've actually filmed a little bit during lunch breaks before. It is a great time to actually get some work done. You can edit. Editing is awesome, especially if you're like me, and right now everything's done on my phone. I always have my phone with me, so during my lunch break is an awesome time to sit there and edit a video, edit a thumbnail, do some research, take notes, even film. It can all be done, not necessarily at one time in one day, but you can get a little bit done each time. Tip number 4 is going to be to plan ahead. Now by this, I mean think of your schedule. For me, I like to bulk film. That is the most useful way for me to get the most content with my time schedule. If you're sitting there trying to film one video, work on the thumbnail, work on the description box, edit and upload for each video, that is a lot of work. And that, to me, in my opinion, is more towards somebody who's able to do YouTube full time. If you are balancing YouTube with a full-time job, I really like the bulk filming because you can really take a day, knock out your filming, and then what I do is edit and work on thumbnails and description boxes and all that extra at a slower pace because I'm not worried about getting it all done right here for one video. Alright guys, this is leading up to tip number 5. This is our last tip, but it might be the most important of all. This is the tip of not trying to take on too much. Now, for some, it may seem like a full-time job plus YouTube is already too much. That's going to be something you have to decide for yourself, whether or not you have the ability to balance this. But while you want to stay consistent, you don't want to set goals for yourself that are unachievable. You need to know your physical and mental capabilities. Do you actually have the time and energy to do this? Again, if you know that you're not going to have 2 weekends off 1 month, then bulk film, and then that way you're not having to film every weekend of the month. Take on as much as you know you can physically and mentally handle. That's not saying you can't do both, because it is possible. Just don't take on too much. Then you're going to find yourself overworked, burn out, and you're going to want to give up. So just take on what you think you're capable of doing. Alright guys, so those are the 5 tips that I use in my life right now, balancing YouTube and a full-time job. I hope that if you have started or you want to start a YouTube, that these 5 tips will help you. If they do, come back and leave me a comment below. I hope that you'll subscribe, like this video, and I hope that you'll be back for the next one. I hope to see you then. Bye.